You're listening to CX Passport, the show about creating great customer experiences with a dash of travel talk. Each episode, we'll talk with our guest about great CX, travel, and just like the best journeys, explore new directions we never anticipated. I'm your host, Rick Denton. I believe the best meals are served outside and require a passport. Let's get going. Recording this in July of 2021, we just wrapped up an exciting NBA Finals. We saw crowds of fans, both inside and outside of the stadiums, all eager to have an amazing experience, and certainly hoping their team wins. While play on the court is a key element of the experience, it's only one part of delivering a great customer experience. Today's CX Passport guest, Katie Miller, is the Senior Vice President, Premium and Client Services, Fan Experience and Operations at the Orlando Magic. She is responsible for creating those amazing life moment fan experiences. The team's location in one of the world's most popular tourist destinations adds an additional layer of fan experience expectations as fans might come from around the globe. Katie and her team do an amazing job, and I am extremely excited to hear from Katie and learn more about delivering great fan experience. Katie, welcome to CX Passport.
Rick, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I mean, could we not have created a better timing to have had the finals finish last night? And we're still kind of buzzing from the excitement of that.
You timed that absolutely perfect. Couldn't have been more perfect if you tried.
That's right. I calculated this just perfectly. Well, hey, so let's start off kind of at the beginning, kind of at the high level. So given that fan experience might be new to some listeners, let's start off by getting your perspective on what fan experience means to you.
Great. Well, thank you again. You know, to me, I think the fan experience has always meant that it's someone's comprehensive experience from the minute you leave your home to the minute you come back to your home at the end of whatever that experience was. All the things that kind of wrap themselves up into those memories are the fan experience. And there's so many elements of that. For us, it's enjoying an NBA basketball game. It's eating whatever you might be eating at the arena. It's sharing the memories with the people that you're sharing them with. It's your memory of whatever the experience was that you just had. So it really is, it's in its totality. And when we look at those things, it is the journey from the minute you leave your home to the minute you arrive at the arena, everything in between, and then head back to your house at the end of the evening.
What a great explanation of that. And it is true. Like, it's just this all-encompassing sort of feel, this vibe. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that is sort of particularly unique to sports is there's all sorts of emotional customer experiences, but there's something about sports. There's just something there that can stir the heart. So I know we love our sports. We love having a great fan experience. And you've got a role that so many people would want to have. How did you get into this field?
Well, I would say a very, very unlikely journey. If you would have asked me where I was going to be when I was, first studying this in school, I could have never told you this. Let me start by saying that. But I was, fortunate enough to attend Ohio University, and I earned my degree in journalism to get started. And public relations was my sort of area of focus, and definitely studied sport business as well. I got into sport and sort of the public relations communication side of sport. Mm-hmm. And while it was lovely, I learned it wasn't where my passion was. It wasn't for me. I got into sport and I knew it was an industry I wanted to be in because of the memories I made as a child with my family, going to sports and the entertainment of it and the time together growing up right outside of Cleveland. And so I quickly transitioned into opportunities where I had the opportunity to engage with fans and be with people and learn what drove them to come and join and participate, for whether it was an evening at a ballpark or an NBA game, whatever that was. So I had the opportunity to start in minor league baseball right out of college, and learned so much. If you know anything about minor league baseball, know that you learn so much. You wear so many different hats. You could be doing, on-field promotions, and you could be pulling tarp in the same game.
I believe it.
I spent time there, and then ultimately had the opportunity to travel down to Orlando And I'm now going into my 16th season with the
Wow.
Orlando Magic and have worn a number of hats here as well. I've been fortunate to be able to really grow and learn from the amazing people here. So I started my journey with the Magic on the ticket sales and new business development side
Okay.
of our industry, where I loved it because I got to focus on bringing new fans into the family.
Mhm.
It energized me every single day. And so I was there for my first 5 years and then had the opportunity to really learn then how to cultivate those relationships at a deeper level when I had the opportunity to lead our retention and service teams. And through that, as we all evolved, I think as an industry and in the fan experience, then had the opportunity to build that into um, deeper levels of
Mhm.
serving our guests when they come to the building through our fan experience department. So it's been an amazing journey and a very unlikely one, but one I'm incredibly grateful for.
Well, there is. I think it's great that you started in minor league because
Mhm.
that is something that has a particularly unique fan experience. In fact, I find myself
Yes.
enjoying spending a night at the minor league ballpark, perhaps even more sometimes. No disrespect to the MLB. We had a wonderful conversation about MLB a couple episodes
Hmm.
ago, but there's just something unique about it. In fact, you and I were just talking about how I'm actually at a client site right now in Ohio, and
Hmm.
a couple nights ago I made the choice to just drive up an hour and go see a Toledo Mud Hens game.
Oh,
And it
wonderful.
was so much fun. Just that
Yes.
impulsive sort of, hey, I'm going to wander up and go see it. And you're right. The experience, everything about from the point that you arrive at the stadium and watching the on-field entertainment and what they're doing with the crowd and the fans has been a lot. So for you to start there, I absolutely can see it. I
It's
am.
so special. It really is. And the miners will forever have just this place in my heart. I can remember doing dizzy bat races with children and then, sitting down for another inning with a client that, did business at the ballpark. It's a really unique environment, but it's amazing.
So my hometown is Frisco, Texas, and the
Yes.
Frisco Rough Riders are there. And same
Hmm.
kind of thing. You watch that on-field promotions team, and I'm not sure if that's the right label, but that experienced team, and it is exactly that. It's that kind of one-on-one, almost that human engagement,
Hmm.
along with whatever the macro entertainment exercise might be. And it is a lot of fun to watch. Now, so you certainly moving well beyond minor league baseball into one of the signature pro sports franchises. The Orlando Magic is a globally known brand, and we're talking about that human aspect of it, and that a sport event is certainly that tangible human physical event.
Hmm.
But I know that you and I have talked about how digital plays such an important function in creating that amazing fan experience. How do you leverage that blend between the human and the tech and data to create those great experiences?
Hmm. They're so very intertwined. You just alluded to that. Um, you can't have one without the other, in my opinion. And I think one of the very unique and special things that we've been able to develop is how we utilize data and an understanding of the actions people might take, what they're buying in the arena, um, what they're buying at the retail store, what's meaningful to them through actions they might take through technology like our mobile app to then enhance it through the human interaction. So we utilize both. We have service teams that develop deep, deep relationships with our partners and with our season ticket members and plan holders that visit us every single game night. But we have access to information that then can make those interactions more special. So we might know that a certain fan often frequents one of our clubs to eat dinner. Well, then we can use that data and then through a gift of their service representative or service team member, we can maybe surprise them with dinner on a game night close to their birthday, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
so it's about the personalization and the customization, but the human element is so important of that. And that's why I say they're very intertwined. They've got to work together and you've got to have a strategy for how you
Right.
use them to work together. So here at the Magic, it's really a true collaboration of our retention teams with our strategy teams and how we work together to support each other to ultimately improve and impact the fan experience so that anytime we have anyone that comes into the Amway Center, they're having an amazing experience that's memorable, that's special, that's unique to them.
What I love about what you said there is, a lot of times people think of introducing digital into the experience as almost a way to sort of push the human away. So
Mhm.
we hear of chatbots, and there's a place for them, but those kind of things that are to try to remove the human or make things more efficient or what
Mhm.
that might look like. But what I hear in the story you're telling is you're using digital to make the experience even more human, so that it would be likely impossible without digital to understand each individual guest and fan's desires and interests. But by being able to discern and tease that out, then you can create those surprise and delight moments that are what build such a connection to the brand and to the experience and to that delight that they'll tell people about for many, many months and many years to come.
That's exactly right. I mean, we want whenever anyone joins us for a game or an experience, we want their experience to be seamless so
Mm,
that they can come in and they can have fun and they can enjoy the time with whoever they're with. And we want it to be unique to them. And so we use those insights and through one of our technologies that we utilize very heavily here, our mobile app, we have always said it is their remote control to
yeah.
a fan's in-game experience. So you can personalize and customize if you would like to upgrade your seats. You could buy a special moment through an invention we call our marketplace, where you might say, tonight I would like to have my guests recognized on the Magic
Hmm.
Vision. So
Yeah.
it really allows our fans to experience something that's very unique to them and take those memories away.
Oh, I love that. That's so great, and I love that blending that we're describing there. So it kind of makes me think about. So you're in Orlando, the
Mm-hmm.
Magic are in Orlando,
Yeah.
and this is clearly an environment that is deep in travel and
Mm-hmm.
tourism. Orlando is known for that. So how does when I think of all the individual guests that are coming in, but how does the Orlando Magic play a part in the overall tourism experience in the area?
Well, I think we're very proud and grateful to be partners in the community for any of the tourism. I mean, tourism is such an important component of
Mm,
everything that Orlando is. And so when we have guests that are joining us from outside of Orlando or outside of Florida, we are committed through their experience when they come to enjoy a basketball game with us, that experience is legendary. And that's amazing because then that's part of the totality of their trip or their vacation or their experience when they came to Florida. And we are so proud and honored to be part of that, and partners in the community as part of that element, because then that becomes something that oftentimes as people join us year after year, it might become part of a tradition, but they're
oh yeah.
spreading magic when they go home, wherever that may be, and encouraging that way. So we are very grateful to have such a dynamic and robust tourism industry and to be partners as part of that.
Little change of pace here. With all that travel talk, and sometimes getting in and out of Orlando can be a little hectic for the traveler, so it's kind of nice to enjoy the first class lounge. So join me here in the first class lounge. We'll move quickly and hopefully have a little bit of fun. What is a dream location from your past?
So I hope I don't sound too dorky, but I would say I'm kind of living it now. So growing up in Ohio, I can remember as a child our one big family trip, and it was to Disney, to drive to Florida and stay at Disney for a week and do all the magical Disney things. And here I am, right? So
Destiny.
it is. I mean, two things come together. But as I will say, as a parent of two, having the ability to take my children to Disney and
Hmm.
see those memories, I can see why it resonated. So
That's brilliant, and absolutely destiny for you, of course, to be there in Orlando. You have
mhm.
found your home. What is a dream travel location you've not been to yet?
Australia.
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
will be something. Anywhere particular, or just Australia in general?
I need to zero in on
Yeah.
where exactly I need to go. But I would love to go to Australia. It's on my bucket list.
It is one of the continents I've not been to yet, and I'm
I w-
excited to get there. But it feels like one of those that, all right, I need to dedicate 6 months to explore Australia. And sadly, that's just not available on the calendar. But it is a special place. I hope to get there too as well. I hope you get there soon.
I was going to ask if you had any recommendations, so keep me in mind when you get there.
Here's the recommendation: go. Oh
Go.
no, here's a better recommendation. I think the Magic need to do a travel game in Melbourne.
I'm on board.
Okay, let's see what you can do there. What is a favorite thing to eat?
Pizza.
Yum. All right. So on the flip side of that, though, what is a thing that your parents forced you to eat, but you hated as a kid?
Ham.
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 Okay, that's my first. No one said ham before. Tell me why.
I think that's more, I don't know if it was so much my parents or my grandparents, but I can remember some large family gatherings where ham was served as part of the big dinner table. And I think it was probably because my grandparents worked so hard on it.
Oh, yeah.
And as silly as this sounds, as a child, I never liked the rind on the outside of the ham.
Uh-huh.
And it was, you got to eat everything here. It's the thing that jumps out in my mind.
That's what I love about doing this, because I ask the same question set here in the middle of every guest, and guests surprise me. Ham is a new one for me, because many of the categories are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, the classic one. Ham is first, so congratulations. You get first comer on that one. So
Thanks. I love it now. I'm good now.
And I hear that a lot too. I realize we're diverting a bit here, but it is amazing how many people talk about the things they hated as a kid and now they love. So I guess ham is now a part of your current day. Well done. What is one travel item you will not leave home without? Can't do the phone. Anything beyond the phone.
My Kindle, all my books in there.
When we first had a chance to talk, we had a laugh that people might say they want a particular experience, but in reality, they really want something different. How does that play into fan experience?
No different than we just talked about the interconnectedness of the human element and the analytics, the data. I think that these kind of two things go hand in hand, because it's both listening and learning. Through conversation, you learn so much by just listening to the guests that are in your facility, and the people that are invested in the experience. And so utilizing just conversations or even something more structured like focus groups is really important to us. But then kind of using what I call the raw data, what are people actually doing or buying, or so how you marry those two together. We try to look at those two sides of things and then say, how do we provide options based on this?
Right.
So how do we, let's use a food and beverage example, right? We often hear, I want to make sure that we have healthy options. We also see that, a lot of people like chicken fingers, right? So how do you make sure you still provide the healthy options while also having the chicken fingers on the menu? And how do you strategically integrate those into, again, I'm going to go back to the fan journey, where someone comes into the building, how are they traveling throughout the facility on their way to their seats, and what are they grabbing along the way? So again, it's sort of a marriage between both worlds there.
That is that salad story is very, very true. I can see a ton of people saying, it's hard for me when I go to the stadium. I don't want all that fried or that greasy food. And I guarantee, even if I were someone, and I wouldn't, but put that on the survey, I'm still going straight to the dogs. I'm still going straight to the fried chicken. I'm not drinking sparkling water. I'm probably grabbing a beer. There's a high degree of unhealth that I'm going to choose in spite of what I might say in a survey.
Well, you get in, and it becomes part of the experience. You smell it, you see it, and you say, oh my gosh, that looks good. Well, I'm here. I'm going to go for that. But you still have to have the other options, right? Because, the other thing that I think about when we look at that is we have guests that are joining us, in a normal season, 44 different times a year. So you have to have variety, right? Maybe on a Saturday night, you're going to go for the hot dog or the hamburger, chicken fingers, but during the week you're trying to be good. So you have to have the salad available too.
Boy, that's a really good point that I wasn't, initially thinking of, but the repeat guest. And, I imagine someone that is one of your customers in your suites and those sorts of things, that if they're entertaining guests there night in, night out, yeah, I can at some point, yeah, I really don't think my body can take another chicken tender. So that is that understanding of both your individual guest, the one time or the infrequent guest, along with your repeated ones. Yeah, that I definitely can see how that would play in. So we were talking earlier that the NBA just wrapped up another exciting season. I mean, we're talking less than 24 hours ago, wrapped it up. And it was so great to see, fans there and watching the NBA Finals and all of that coming together on a successful season. So I know that fan experience, and you and I have talked about how the association really works together on things. So how do you see the NBA kind of as an overarching influence on all of the different teams throughout the association working to deliver great fan experience?
Well, I'll speak on behalf of myself.
Yeah.
But I know every day I am proud to be part of such an amazing league and team. And I am proud to work with teammates within that, where we push ourselves to be great for our fans every single day, so that at any time anybody comes in to experience a game, it is an amazing experience that someone's going to walk away and take a lot of memories from. I think the thing that is really exciting and something that we always work towards is some of the standards that within the NBA we operate within, both operational and aspirational, that are designed to push us all to be great and to challenge us to continue to deliver more for our fans that come to games. I think one of the other things that is inherent and incredibly important, I know it's a priority at a league level, but also here at the Magic, because it's one of our core values, is innovation. Always innovating to improve the fan experience, to ideate against what are some new things that we could build in to someone's fan journey and into their experience. How can we continue to deliver amazing entertainment? How can we continue to execute against a seamless experience? How do we collaborate? And so innovation is one of our key priorities. We really focus on the collaboration tied to that, then continues to bring about a great experience for everybody that joins us in our facilities.
That's good, and I definitely can see that spirit of innovation. NBA really trying to push the envelope, and individual teams, and then both sharing openly with each other, but then also seeing, as you and I talked about, seeing 60,000 plus fans packed into Deer Park, watching the Bucks win last night. Teams will continue to try to repeat and emulate that from a fun fan experience perspective, and then some of the technology innovations that you're describing. I'm thinking maybe let's close out with this, because one of the things about innovation and these ideas, but there's also the execution aspect of it. And I know CX Passport had a chance to talk with Aaron Swales, who leads guest experience for the San Diego Padres. And check out episode 20 if anybody wants to listen to that. We talked about the challenges of delivering great experiences when it's through such a wide operational spectrum, from parking to entry to food and beverage, and even elements pre and post game, right? So how do you ensure this great fan experience when there are so many delivery points for that experience?
I think there's a couple key elements that go into that. The first is alignment, communication, and teamwork. As you just noted, there's so many different points that impact someone's fan experience when they come to the game, whether that's parking, food and beverage, your usher and your ticket taker, your relationship with your service executive, all of the partners that have employees that impact those experiences. Everybody has to be on the same page and working together. And we're proud here to have amazing partners that we work with every day, where our communication lines are open. We're committed comprehensively to delivering a legendary experience and prioritizing the fan and the team members that do that collectively together. So I think alignment, communication, and teamwork are critical. I think the second component of that's really inherent to our culture is recognizing and celebrating our game night, and all of our staff that go into making the environment here so special and so unique, celebrating the wins, recognizing the wins, because that's, by our team members going above and beyond, those are the legendary moments that then impact our fans every time they come to the building. And we are just so proud to have team members in place that are so committed to serving the guests when they come to a game, that it's just, it all works together, because so many people are invested in when we open those doors, that every person in the building has an amazing time. Mm-hmm. So it really is such a special thing when you step back and look at it, what that does, not only for the individuals that work as part of the team, but for the fans that are coming into the building each and every evening or once, right? That they want to come back because it was such an amazing experience.
I really appreciate how you are focusing on that individual celebration and recognition, mm-hmm. because, most fans, they probably don't know Katie Miller, but they know the usher mm-hmm. that guided them to their seats. They know the concession person. They know the parking person, and maybe not by individual, but that is their awareness of the experience of the brand of the team is through those individuals. And I think companies don't always honor and really stay true to that front line. And it's very encouraging to hear how the Magic are doing exactly that and bringing the celebration of those individuals to the forefront.
Well, thank you. We're grateful for everything, every interaction, every moment, every investment that each of our team members make, and the impact that has on everybody that joins us for a game.
Well, fantastic. Katie, it has been a blast talking with you. I just enjoy, I'm a sports guy anyway, but just getting to hear how fan experience is delivered inside a sports organization, how the Orlando Magic use humanity and digital to make it come to fruition, how the celebration of the front line. I love getting some insight into how one might be able to follow you in that journey. So those that are considering a career in fan experience now have a roadmap that they can follow as well. And it sounds like the key to that is minor league baseball. So everyone get some exposure to your minor league baseball team and enjoy that. It's been brilliant talking with you, Katie. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me here on CX Passport. And I wish you certainly the best of the time here in the off season. And I wish you the best for next season as well.
Well, likewise. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here and just have really enjoyed our conversation. So thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on CX Passport. Make sure to visit our website, cxpassport.com, where you can hit subscribe so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, you can check out the rest of the EX4CX website. If you're looking to get real about customer experience, EX4CX is available to help you increase revenue by starting to listen to your customers and create great experiences for every customer every time. Thanks for listening to CX Passport, and be sure to tune in for our next episode. Until next time, I'm Rick Denton, and I believe the best meals are served outside and require a passport.